Once again, my friends, my name is Robert Antoinette, and I am along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we are conversation starters. This is the #1 platform in the world with entertainment, with all of your favorite media personalities and all the people that you want to talk to. And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
Hashtag conversation starters live. Well, what's going on, Constance? The day is the day, June 19th, aka better known as
Juneteenth.
My goodness. Well, there's a lot happening out here today, and I know that I have a lot that's on my mind, and I'm just anxious to hear what you have to share with our listeners, with our viewers, and we want to give them a little bit of chance to come on and check us out, and see that we've got a really special guest. I was excited to be back in the green room with you and the guest, and I just can't wait. What's going on in your world?
Yeah. Well, first I want to talk about Juneteenth. Today is June 18th, 19th. What's today?
19th.
Today is June 19th, and today is Juneteenth. And it's so funny because I don't know about you what they do in DC, but we've been celebrating Juneteenth since as long as I can remember. Like, I have been going to the Juneteenth festival since I was about 4-5 years old in San Jose. It's really popular here all over the Bay Area, all over Northern California. So that's what we do. So it's really funny seeing all the people celebrating Juneteenth, which is great. I welcome it. One of the things that I thought was extremely funny, though, is your president. He said that he made Juneteenth popular. What do you think about that?
I made Juneteenth popular. Yeah, he said nobody knew about it. You know what I mean? And that just further shows the ignorance of this man. And you know me, Constance, I try not to say anything negative, but this joke has just set himself up for it. And for anybody that's out there who has an opinion about it, please let your thoughts be known in the feed. This is a live broadcast. But to answer your question, Constance, I mean, what else do you expect from this?
I mean, just a few months ago, he said that, he talked about Frederick Douglass as if he was in the presence. Right. What do you say, Rob? What do you say about Frederick Douglass?
You said it, and I've been hearing more about Frederick Douglass. He's been getting more and more praise these days. The man has been dead for at least 100 years.
100 years.
Yeah.
Frederick Douglass was. So it's fascinating that it's actually a great thing that so many people are acknowledging and they're celebrating Juneteenth, because it is something to be celebrated. What Juneteenth is in 1865, when the slaves were emancipated, there were a small group in Texas that did not quite know that they were free. And they were still working the plantations, and somebody had came and told them that they were free. And so then from then on, we started celebrating this day as a day of our freedom from slavery for African Americans. And so we've known about it forever. It's just that your president really didn't know about it.
I was listening to the radio today while I was out driving, and I heard somebody say, y'all can go ahead and have y'all 4th of July, but this is our Independence Day. So I'm going to shout and turn it up for today, for Juneteenth.
Who's barbecuing?
Huh?
Who's barbecuing today for Juneteenth?
Well, if you barbecuing, you need to invite your boy Rob on through. I am a professional taster, and I will let you know if that potato salad is done properly. Speaking of potato salad, are you a relish in the potato salad, or how do you do it?
I like my relish in the potato salad.
You like a little relish in it?
Yeah.
Now, do you go with a lot or a little bit?
A little bit, just a little bit of just
a touch. How do you?
I'm a food connoisseur. I like to taste.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how you looking on the deviled egg? You like the paprika on?
Yeah.
Or you like it?
That's
do? Really?
Yeah.
This is way off topic, but since you brought up food, I had some deviled eggs with like bacon bits in it. Man, listen, when I tell you, I stood by that tray and ate like 7-11 of them. I'm
greedy.
Deviled eggs. Well, listen, you know what? You brought up Juneteenth, and I have a quote that's on my mind that has really, really been pressing in my sha-na-na. It means a lot to me, and I want to share with our guests today, and I want to share more importantly with our listeners and our viewers. And the quote goes like this. It says, it takes a lifetime to build up trust, but only seconds to destroy all trust that has been built.
Wow.
And I know that to be true in relationships. I know that to be true in business. I know that to be true in partnerships. So I just want to tell everybody that's out listening to us, that once you build trust, once you have trust in your relationship, in your business, in your job, your brand, whatever it is, when you build trust with people, please don't break it.
Amen. I love it. I love it. And a segue to that, so I want to talk about the guests, because when you talk about trust, you talk about somebody who has the trust of millions. You talk about somebody who's been transparent, who's lived her life out loud in front of the world. You talk about somebody who has been around for a long time, but has helped have breakthroughs, break strongholds, just with hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people. And I'm so honored to know her personally. You know, I've spent time with her. I've slept in the bed with her. I've had supernatural experiences with this woman. I swear to you. And what I know for sure, when you talk about trust, she is the real deal. So I want to bring on, I'm not introducing her to anybody. Everybody knows the fabulous, the beautiful Miss Lisa Nichols. Come on, give it up, y'all.
Thank you. Okay, you know, the first thing you got to do is explain that slept in the bed with me.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that.
No. You don't have to say anything. I am going to
straighten it out.
Right, I'm gonna clear that up. So she did that intentionally, because she's like that. Like, you know, Constance, you're not right. So sleepover in Barcelona.
Okay.
And sleepover in Barcelona, 25 women. We're all bumped.
It wasn't just me and you, Lisa. What do you mean?
Would you just hush? What I'm not going to let you do is paint that little shady picture. And so we had, you know, everybody was in different rooms, but they were king beds, and it was 2 to a bed so that we can have enough to stay in this amazing estate. I was going to say magnificent estate. And Constance would climb next to me, and I try to kick her out. Why don't you go to your room?
Loving on me.
No, I'm gonna say
everything about it.
That's like a little sister. That's like a little sister at a sleepover. She got her own space. Right, Moshe in the house. Yeah, so that's to explain that, Rob. And Constance, don't just leave that hanging out there like that. All I need to see on IG.
Well, Lisa, I mean, you know, I was going to say, if that's your thing, you know, God bless you, you know what I mean?
Right. And
I didn't miss it. I caught it. I'm
cool with everybody's preference. Don't get it twisted. I'm all about whatever you about. I'm about that's cool. She got a man and I got a man. So, and both of them did not agree to share either of us. So anyway,
okay.
We started my part off like really thank you, Constance. Really.
No, we have to, because but what I really want to do, because everybody knows the Lisa Nichols, everybody knows the big Lisa Nichols, but I want them to really understand the Lisa, the fun, the down to earth, the South Central Lisa Nichols that I was fortunate to know and understand and spend a lot of time with. I want them to know who you are. Now they know I'm crazy. They know
all they gotta do is spend a little time with me, and I'm always bringing all of me to the forefront. I'm always looking at everyone seeing. I've always said I don't want to be put on a pedestal that I can't get off of. So let me keep jumping up and down. So y'all realize that I prefer to live on the ground, live on the floor, live next to everyone else. And so yeah, Johnny said, let's be clear, we got it right. So you know, it's good. Constance and I, you and I spend a lot of time together, spending time laughing until our belly hurts, but also spending time, you know, wiping tears. Yes. You know, and spending time healing.
Supernatural experiences.
Yeah, spending time healing. You know, you put it perfectly, cutting the strongholds on ourselves and on others. And so I'm excited to be here with you guys for some courageous conversations, and everyone else that's here, Moshe and Raylene and Felicia and Johnny and Terry and everybody that's in that's
a part of the tribe. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm loving the fact, Lisa, that you cleared up that you're not only a round-the-way girl, but you are transforming people all around the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, everybody knows your story. You are one of the few people that can make a brother cry live.
We've seen it
telling your story.
Yes.
And Constance gets on me all the time because in my old and mature age, I have been known to be transparent and absolutely let a tear or two fall, or at least my eyeball just bleed a little bit. Yeah. So I just want to start this thing off like really, really genuine in the way that I know you to be, more than the person from The Secret, the person that has sat on the same stage with Oprah. Like, what is it like to carry that mantle? Because, you know, in this society, we all need a superhero, right? Whether you want that cape or not, you got it. So what is that like? Like, I mean, everybody wants Lisa Nichols to be on. Like when you walk out the door, once you're recognized, they want inspiration, they want motivation. More importantly, they want that transformation.
And they want a hug. You gotta know, people run up to me everywhere, in the grocery store, in the airport, because when they meet me, there's a part of yourself that you meet, I believe, right? Because I'm willing to be transparent and I'm willing to be vulnerable, you see those parts in yourself. And so that builds relationship. And so people start in a relationship with me already. They just forget that I haven't quite met them. Constance witness. What was that? Us? Were we in Bahamas? This woman ran up and this woman thought she hugged me, but I promise you, she put me in a bona fide headlock. Bona fide headlock.
She was so excited.
She like 5'10", 5'11",
250.
Right. And I'm standing 5'3" on my tippy toes. So I was right there at her and she just grabbed me and so amen. So Constance had to come to my rescue at that point. But to answer your question, it's funny you should ask that right now, because I literally maybe 4 minutes before I finished with you, I just finished doing a piece for Essence that will be coming up soon.
Ooh, congratulations.
And it was called Super Sister Soldier.
Yes.
So timely. Literally 4 minutes before I finished with you, before I came on with you, I was doing that for our sisters over at Essence. And you're right. My life has it's become something that allows people to look up, to pull, to grab hope. But I can't tell you, Rob, that I started saying that's who I'm going to be. Right. I can't tell you that, because that would be the 10,000 miles ahead. I started just saying, God, take me 1 mile, and God, take me one more. What I am is I'm a servant leader. I understand that I'm a servant leader. And I am, every day I wake up and say, use me for the highest good, to go the furthest. I said 22 years ago, I said, I just remember the calling on my life. God was like, I want you to serve my children. I remember like it was yesterday, serve my children, help heal my children. About 22 years ago, I was at Hyde Park Elementary School in South Central LA, working at their family center. And I was the director. I was quite comfortable. Jelani was in preschool. I was earning the best income I'd ever earned, and I could have stayed there for life. Like that, I could have got my benefits, could have got my watch, I could have got, I was cool. And I kept hearing, serve my children, serve my children. And I don't know if any of you, and if this has been you in chat, just put up Yana, Y-A-N-A. You are not alone, Y-A-N-A. Let me know I'm not by myself. But I kept getting this call from God saying, sir, I need you to help heal my children. I kept saying, God, I'm cool. I'm going to get to that. Call me back later. I got benefits. And like, I didn't step into this.
You did not tell God, hold on for a minute.
Yes, I did. I tell people God called me and I said, call me back later. Look what I'm doing. I was making $62,000 a year. My job before that, thank you so much, Felicia. My job before that was $25,000 a year. Go from 25 to 62. Let me sit here for a while. I'm cool. Me and Jelani, we not eating beanies and weenies anymore. We got deluxe. You talking about bacon? We had some bacon in our baked beans. I was like that, and that was deluxe.
Not bacon. I mean, you talk about elite,
elite, right? And I was like getting some like hickory smoke, like bonus bacon. So I kept telling God to call me back, and I kept hearing, "No, I need you to do this now. I need you to do this now." And so I started motivating LA. Because I thought that was it. That's all I got to do is motivate LA. Hey, Tommy, all I got to do is motivate LA. It's good. And then I get the call again in my prayer time, in my spiritual time, in my insight time. No, I said motivate all my children. So I was like, okay. So I start motivating California. I go up to Northern California. I go up to UC Berkeley. I speak when I did Chicken Soup for the African American Soul. I start speaking around in California. I hear it again in my spirit. So I'm telling you this because I don't want you to think I just stepped up for the call. Like, hello, like I'm not gonna play that game. That's not true. And so I hear my spirit again. No, serve all my children. And so I start saying, well, I'm gonna serve Black people everywhere. And then I heard serve all my children. I was like, damn, I'm gonna serve the United States, maybe. Serve all my children. When I tell you, I'm not gonna let you. I don't know if anybody else like this, but when there's a calling on your life, you don't get a good night rest. Somebody. Yeah. And so you just surrender. So I would love to tell you, Rob, that I jumped in this and said, let's go. I want to serve Croatia and Slovenia and Dubai and Budapest and Ireland, all these crazy places that I've been. I'm going to tell you what I did was I went, who, God? Who else? Who else? And so when we look at this time we're in and all the phone calls I'm getting, and I happen to get more phone calls from thought leaders and educators who are not Black, who want to know, what do I do? And I trust you, Lisa, to educate the educators that are calling. I trust you. And so tell me. And so I go, oh. And so I just kept doing one little yes at a time. I didn't know I'd be this woman. Because if you had given me a crystal ball, shook it, and said, this who you're going to be in 22 years, I probably would have self-sabotaged.
Wow.
Because 22 years ago, there was too much healing to do. There was too much healing to do for me to see this version. So the version you see today is simply, it's the layers of me just saying one more little yes, and one more big yes, and then one more medium yes, and then one more, and then you arrive here the way you have and the way Constance has. So while I appreciate I'm blown away at everyone who wants me to speak and wants me to inspire. I'm grateful for it. And I'm also very mindful of how I protected the way I got here. And so we all on the journey.
But Lisa, have you ever felt, because that call in your life was so big, have you ever felt that you weren't qualified? Because that's a huge thing to feel. And you being, like you say, a little Black girl from South Central LA, how did you feel that you were up to it?
Hold on, you saying it nice. Did I ever feel like I was the daggone imposter in my own life? Heck to the yes. I was just, this is so crazy. We're in such a crazy time. I was just on the phone yesterday with 2 movie directors and a producer. We'll just leave it at that. And they're asking me about my life. And they said, what would you want people to know? And I said, I'd want people, like if there was a story about you, what would you want people to know? I want people to know that there were so many days when I thought I'd be exposed. I thought I'd be exposed because I saw myself good enough for some of this, but I didn't quite know if I was good enough for all of this. And while people kept score on what I was doing for them and how I inspired them, I kept keeping score on what degrees I didn't have and what qualifications I didn't have. And I said something bold yesterday, I'll say it today. Early in my career, when my career started blowing up, the first thing I did for the first 5 years was I hired degreed, educated white people to stand in front of me. Because the self-development industry was white at the level I play. Remember, my first book was Chicken Soup for the African American Soul. So I couldn't I couldn't even ease into the greatness conversation. It was like I was thrown out there. My first book was the longest standing best-selling book in the history of any series. And then I'm representing the African American culture. So I went from, can I write? Because you know me, Constance, you know the story. I got to fail in English. I got to fail in English, and I ain't even mad at my teacher. She was kind of mean about it. She stood me in front of the entire classroom and said, you have to be the weakest writer I've ever met in my entire life. That's what my teacher said. Now, though she didn't quite have to say it like that and throw me under the bus and put me on Front Street, I was a weak writer. So she wasn't lying. I was a weak writer. I didn't know where to put a semicolon. I still don't. Trust me, just true. I don't even know why they made a semicolon. Why they make a semicolon or a colon? I have no idea. But I would do run-on sentences. I didn't know what. I was comma, 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 comma. So where you go?
She had to do you like that, though. She had to do you like
right. Now that was, but there was some truth in her comment. So I went from being a failing student the last time I took English in my freshman year, which, oh, by the way, ended up being my senior year. That's another story.
Okay.
That means I got kicked out my second year.
Wait, I ain't heard that story.
Right. Oh, there's so much more to come, girl. You haven't heard it all. So all of a sudden, my first year in college ended up being my last year in college, and I failed English. And that same year, I got a D- in speech. And my speech teacher said, quote unquote, Miss Nichols, I recommend you never speak in public, that you get a desk job. So Rob, to your point, I hear those two things. And then my first book is Chicken Soup for the African American Soul. So to your point, Constance, I'm constantly wondering, are they going to figure out?
Am I qualified?
I'm not the traditional sense of qualified for 10 years. With chicken soup number 1, chicken soup number 2, and oh, by the way, the secret,
that part.
I kept saying, I know what I know. I know what I know, but I don't know if that's as much as y'all need me to know.
Yeah.
So I never lied about what I knew. I shared my life story. I shared my truth, but I wasn't sharing from an academic perspective. I was sharing from a life learned perspective.
Yeah.
It took me, Constance, about 13 years in this business, 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 5 years after I was on Oprah to settle into what I know is enough.
Wow.
Man, I'm telling you, it's a I can't really say, come on, Lisa. I'm just going to speak truth because there's power in truth. And so every day I had to remind myself that I deserve to be where I was. I deserve to be. Every day I had to remind myself that I'm worthy of being followed by someone. Every day I had to remind myself I'm worthy of getting this next contract. Every day. It wasn't a weekly or monthly or annual. It was a daily thing to remind myself of my worthiness.
Because it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you're like, God, okay, God, okay, God, okay. You know, you just keep getting surprised by God, and God just keeps showing you who you are.
Everything I touched, you guys, for about 10 years, everything I touched, Rob, turned to gold. So what did I do? I started putting my hands behind my back. I'm like, I ain't gonna touch nothing else. Because when and someone's gonna relate to this, put Yana in the chat if you relate to it. When what you touch expands, and you haven't given yourself permission to have that first level, when it expands, it's gonna rock your world. And I had to watch out because then I started getting into unconscious sabotage. Listen, because what I had was still 5 notches in front of everybody else. So I could sabotage all the stuff that was coming to me, and I still was the baddest sister around, the woman that everybody was talking about. So I had to watch out because I was sabotaging the breathtaking future that was on its way to me because I couldn't even handle how good my now was. I was searching it.
Lisa, let me tell you something. You up here teaching and preaching, don't even know it. But I want you to continue to stand on that word that as long as you decrease, that's where he will increase in the midst of your weakness. That's where his strength is made perfect. And I'm not going to let you stay on that self-defeat and talk too long. So I need you to high five yourself for the whole world to see. And you just name one of your accomplishments in your career. I think you counted out 13 years. One thing you can kind of high five yourself and look in the mirror and say, I did that thing. Like, is there one accomplishment like you really, really proud of that one thing?
Yeah. I love it. Are you asking me what am I really proud of?
Yeah, give me one thing or your top 3, whatever, however you want to do it.
I'm really proud of my intentionality around ensuring without a shadow of a doubt, unequivocally, my son knowing that he was my priority.
Hello.
That I didn't have to choose him or my dream. I wasn't going to sit either one down. Like I just kept saying, hold on, I have to do this dream. I got to. It's in my belly. It's keeping me up at night. The phone call keep coming. But I'm a mother, and I don't want to just be a mother. I want to be the best mother in my version I can be. Not a perfect mother, but I want to be the best version of the mother. And my son and I are teaching Motivating the Teen Spirit tomorrow together. You may know.
Is it Zoom, or are you guys doing it in person?
It's Zoom, and it's free. It's for all teens. And
my kids will be on there with the link.
Listen. So to have my son come to me at 25 and say, Mom, I want to work in your company. I want to direct Motivating the Teen Spirit. I want to make it everything you wanted it to be. The relationship we have today, and I'm going to say that there, but I'm going to tell you, since he was 10, I've been on the road over 200 days a year. So when you put those two together, that's what makes that extraordinary. Not just because he wants to be my friend and because of a relationship, it's because I lived on the road. The radical I did, I had a 6-page Jelani care guide, and I would update that care guide every time I left. I would fly in, and my mother would be at the airport with me, and she would give me a cooler, and I would take my car and the cooler and go straight to his baseball game, open up the cooler, and we had oranges and fruit juice inside the cooler. He didn't know that I was jet lagged. He didn't know that I was sleepy. If you ask me, what am I proud of? It's that my son did not have to pay for my aspirations.
Yeah.
The transformational teacher. That's my biggest and most exciting one, is watching him feel whole and complete and non-resentful for the career choices that I've made.
I love it.
Lisa, everybody knows who you are. And one of the premises of this show is really to take people through the journey. And your journey is so great, but I learned that from you, right? I learned that from the dip in the valley and why it's so important. One of the things that I love, you're such an excellent storyteller. You're such a great storyteller. One of the stories that you tell so great that I always crack up laughing at, I don't know if you want to share it, was when you first started, because you had to expand your horizon because you had to reach more people, but you were so focused on a certain demographic that you would get up and you would say the same speech.
Oh my God.
That was the funniest story that I ever heard.
Oh my God.
To share, because I need everybody to laugh like
Oh my God. Yes. And I'll share that with you. And if I can also share what Marquita has asked, and she asked, was there ever a point in your career where God had to humble you? Oh yeah. So
come on.
So I came in. I'm Sister Soldier.
That's what Robert calls me. Oh, by the way,
I'm Sister Soldier. Like I'm cool with it. I've been Sister Soldier for a long time. I was nicknamed Sister Soldier in my teen years. It followed me somehow to my year in college. I'm Sister Soldier, complete with I would wear combat boots, those big socks that you push down to your edges with some leggings and an oversized sweater. I was Sister Soldier, always ready. I felt like I was born in the wrong time. I was born in the wrong era. I was around all these people who wanted to be peacekeepers. I want to be that sister, right? So that was my energy. So I got this award once in Los Angeles, and it was a wellness award, and I hadn't gotten many awards up until then. And so I was excited. And this wellness award came with this huge, beautiful trophy. And it came with $500. And man, I was an entrepreneur with a dream and a very, very little bank account at the time. So that $500 was spent before I got it. So I was grateful. I walked into the room, and there probably 5, 6, 7, 8, I can't quite remember, several hundred, almost 1,000, closer to 1,000 than to 500 people in the room, and maybe 2 Black people. And I was the only person of color on the dais. And they gave me the award. And this is just sheer not knowing your audience. This is sheer just kind of in my own thing. And I had this poem that I wrote. It was one of the first poems that I wrote. And mind you, I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles. I grew up living between the Harlem Crip 30s and the Rolling 60s. I had 3 fights a week to get home from school. And so I have that coloring background, right? I'm a long way from where I raised my son in Redondo Beach, or where I live now in Nassau, Bahamas. A long way from that, right? I'm just saying. And so this poem was, I don't know all the details of it, but it goes like this. My beautiful sisters frying their, and I said it mad. Now you got to know, imagine me on stage. This is a meditation conference. So these people are meditation and Zen and yoga and right. Just imagine that, y'all. And Sister Soldier, they don't know that's my name. They just know me as Lisa Nichols was in The Secret. Nichols. And I come on stage and they welcome me on stage, and I get on stage and I think I said hi, maybe. And then I said, my beautiful sisters frying their brain, going insane right at the end of my block. My extraordinary brothers exterminating, terminating, self-assassinating, all for the sake of the rock at the end of my block. Mama's being robbed on my back doorstep. Babies are being killed right at my feet. Brothers executing brothers on my front lawn. Someone's grandfather's dying from not enough to eat right at the end of my block. What is this bizarre, demented, deranged, and insane occurrence? This is life, breath, and existence in my world. At the end of my block, the room is silent. No, this ain't no day in hell. No, this ain't no day in jail. No, this isn't even a day down Skid Row. This is a day on my block. So anyway, I'm not gonna go any further, but it goes on, right?
Ooh, child.
And at the end, I did everything but drop the mic.
You could probably hear a pin drop.
Literally, for the next like 2-3 minutes, the announcer didn't know what to say because I was the awardee. I was the person that exemplified transformation, possibility, Zen, breath, and wellness. So the host of the event came to the back, and I'm gonna tell you, you'll get some of your gifts in the most unlikely places. So this tall, 6 foot, maybe 5, 6 white older man, he was my gift. He came to me and he said, "You've been through a lot, huh?" Look, I'm still in it. Yes, I have. And you have to get through a lot to get out, huh? Yes, I did. He said, "Congratulations, you're out."
Okay.
He said, "And now I just want to encourage you to live and talk and breathe and celebrate like you're out." Then to make sure I got the lesson, because you know a hard head like me, you can't just hit me with like with a fork over the head. You got to go get the hammer, go get the sledgehammer. So I already got a $500 check. He digs in his pocket and he pulls out this Bahama money. He pulls out all the money in his pocket, which was like another $850. He said, "Take this money and go to a really nice community, the one that you currently live in, and get a massage. Have a whole spa day."
Work it out.
Get you a massage, sis.
Get you a massage, doggone it.
Relax. So that's such a great lesson that your actions and your being could be in the now. You can live in a place, you can show up every day, but your mindset, your reactions, your insecurities get triggered and you go back like it's 1995. That's what happened. I went in this room with all white people, and I don't really have to prepare a speech. I may do some bullets, and Constance has been when she's seen. But I figured since I didn't make the prayer, I'll do this. Well, they came to celebrate me, and I left them feeling beat up. I left them feeling like they were wrong. And so I had a lot to learn.
Last said, right poem, wrong audience.
Look, now I can do it right now, out in the middle of the street, and be just fine.
Just perfect. And that's what Bert said. Bert said that poem is perfect for today. For such a time as this. And that's what I want to talk about, because you've been talking about that a lot lately, Lisa.
Yeah.
You've been talking about what's going on, and I always watch you, and I watched your video last week when you were talking about your son being the gentle giant and how that affected you, and how people were saying, hey, why are you being quiet? And you said, I'm not being quiet, I'm praying.
Yeah.
I'm being careful. I want to make sure that I say the right thing.
I'm being responsible.
I'm being responsible.
That's what I said. I'm being responsible for my voice.
So what do you think about the current climate of the country right now?
I think it's necessary. I think I'm sad that we have to get here through the path that we've gotten here through, that we have to lose another brother. We have to lose another father. We have to lose another son. I'm sad of how we have had to get here. I am sad. I'm angry. I feel every emotion everybody else feels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But history has shown us, before every major act of change, long-term systemic change, there has had to be a protest.
Yeah.
Now, before every protest, there has had to be enough hurt.
Yeah. Wow.
And so while I wish it to be different and we get here a different way, history has shown us. So that's my thought, that I choose to embrace it. I don't like how my son, you saw on the video, Jelani was driving 20 hours.
Yeah.
When it first started. And I was a scared mama, like, but the thought leader,
to
get my baby to his destination in my prayers. I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Right.
So in that vein, enough is enough, and we all know enough is enough. It's been enough for a long time. And I was on it. I was on my first interview the other day with a white radio television station, and I have a lineup of stations that are all white, and they're online, or they publicize to predominantly white communities, and they're ringing my phone off the hook because they said, and someone typed in chat, "You are the bridge. You can show us. You can help us get it." And I said to her, just like an antibiotic, where the pain is going to stop afterwards. Before the pain stops, the needle is big and it's going to hurt in order to get us there. So what I want you to do is stop being surprised that you're hurting. You will never know my pain. I don't expect you to. It's unfair for you to. And it's unfair to hold it against you that you don't, honestly. And I will never know your confusion. I don't have the liberty to be unaware of this problem. But both of us have the responsibility to take the shot, as painful as it is right now, for our children's children.
Yeah.
When you ask the question, what will my dash mean? The dash between my birthday and my transition day? Who are you being right now?
That's right.
That's what your dash is going to mean. And so I'm very mindful. I'm not saying a lot. I'm not on every day, because I want to have forward-moving thoughts, forward-moving conversations, and forward-moving action. Because the place you don't want this, sister, is stuck and pissed.
Ooh.
Don't nobody want me there. I don't want to be
there.
You might get an on my block speech. That's what you're going to get.
If I stay there, then I'm going to bring a lot of people with me.
Yeah.
I'm responsible.
You have the ear of millions.
And so, yesterday I went live, and it was my first action. So I spent a week just talking about my feelings, allowing us to grieve, allow us to be angry, allowing our emotions to have a real space. Because if you try to move to action too soon, people are angry because they haven't grieved enough. It's like someone dying, and the very same day you say, come on, let's go pick out a casket. Hold on.
Let me breathe.
I need to breathe a bit. And so we spent the time breathing, and we're not just breathing for George Floyd. We're breathing for everyone. We're breathing for, as many as we can. And then you say, we must move. We must move from anguish to action. We must. And then some people will take up real estate in anguish, because anguish is a familiar state of being, and anguish doesn't require you to be in action. But anguish is not the solution. Anguish is the emotion that should precede the action that develops the solution.
Yeah. Dr. Ali said pause and breathe.
Yeah. And so yesterday, I don't know if you saw Nikki Clue. You know Nikki, she your girl too. I went live to launch the Million Letter campaign that Nikki has organized, and it's beautiful. It's organized. The form letters are already made. Every week, we're going to mob flash a different state. We're going to focus on the 10 states that need the most police reform ever. And in those 10 states, everyone is going to focus starting next week on one state at a time, flash mobbing that state with the pre-written form letters, but coming from different people. Oh, for the next 10 weeks.
Let everybody know where they can get these letters.
So, I'll go to my fan page, Lisa Nichols fan page. You'll see a picture of George Floyd, and it'll say the Million Letter Movement. Click on the Million Letter Movement just go to my fan page. That's the easiest place to send you. Million Letter Movement. You also can try Million Letter Movement directly, but if you go to my fan page, you can click the link. It'll take you there. You then will be able to see the different form letters and see what state we're going after first. And what these letters ask for, all the letters are the same. Can you imagine if a police commissioner gets 100 letters? Can you imagine if he gets 1,000 letters?
That part.
Can you imagine if he gets 10,000 of the same letters? Try to ignore me if you would.
You can ignore one.
Right.
You ignore 10. You might be able to ignore 100.
Right. So what I love is that these letters call for the top 8 policies. So it removes the chokehold. It says you can't shoot a man while he's running away. It's like, it just looks at all the things that we are under the, no pun intended, the gun for. Yeah. And it requires a council, a community council. Like, it just makes a statement. And so Black, white, Asian, Latino, here in other countries, I don't care. Everybody's going to send that letter. Next 10 weeks, we're going to flash mob a state a week.
And that's what it's about, Lisa. We all have to be working together in a concerted effort. We can't do this by ourselves. We need our white, our Black, our Latino, our Asian brothers and sisters to do this with us.
You know, it's not just that we need it. It's that they need to.
We all need it. Yes.
They need to, because they're so disgusted with it that when it gets 20 years from now, they want to protect, as well as we want to protect, the stories they tell their grandchildren's children.
Yeah.
Hello. And you know, Lisa, it's really amazing that you have that going on. I want to make sure that everybody goes to your page to support what you're doing, because Constance and I, we go back and forth, right? We all are in the same place, but she's very opinionated, as you may very well know.
What? Constance?
And I've been known to hold an opinion myself, but, you know, moving beyond the traditional speeches, right? I don't want to say I'm sick and tired of seeing, I don't want to hear another speech, but I want to know what we're going to do with the action step, right?
Yeah.
Because we've heard everything that it is that needs to be said, and you know, I need something more, something of substance. And so I love what you're doing. I really, really do.
Yeah. And I'm joining Nikki Clue. I got to give the credit to my girl, Nikki Clue. She called me in. She goes, Lisa, I need your platform. I need your reach. I was like, I'm there. So what I love is that your tribe is the same kind of tribe that I would expect. So already in the link, someone has already put a link to the Million Letter Movement. They gave you guys Nikki Clue's name. So just jump in. Like, that's the first thing. And one of the other things I'm going to be doing coming up, I don't want to bombard people with too much too soon. This is a long-term action.
Oh, yeah.
This is long-term. So one of the other things I'm going to do is I'm going to do guidelines for white people to have conversations with us.
Courageous conversations. Yes.
Courageous conversations. Because what I find is that my white sisters and brothers are nervous. They don't want to say the wrong thing. They've seen other people say the wrong thing, and they truly, truly want to be a part of the conversation. So I'm going to support and say, here are some questions that you can ask. Here are some conversations you can get in. Let me give you a few guidelines just so you feel safer getting into them, because we need to have them with you, because we need them in the conversation. We need them to help be a part of the conversation, because when they're in the conversation, they know more, they're more cultured, and the women are sleeping beside the men that are making some of the rules, and the men are sleeping beside some of the women that are making some of the rules, and so that we're looking to have change. And so we need to infect that environment with some courageous conversation. So I'm going to be giving.
You have their ear too, Lisa. You got their ear too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I've known I had their ear, but over the last 14 days, the way my phone is blown up, I said, oh, okay. And now for that reason, I sit a little bit and go, let me mind my spirit. Let me make sure that my spirit is pure and about solution, because whatever it is going to roll over onto them. The last thing, I'm only doing 3 things: courageous conversations, the 1,000,000-letter movement. And the last thing is and this is down the line. I'm just telling you now, I'm not doing all this now. I'm taking my time. This is a marathon, y'all. This is not a sprint. Trust and believe. # don't get it twisted. And so the other thing that I'm doing is I'm going to begin to coordinate cultural proximity intimacy. And so what that means is I want to design a program where police officers have to have cultural sensitivity training by whatever culture their precinct is in, right? So there's an educator. However, we create cultural proximity intimacy, meaning they're not just sitting at a desk learning about the African-American culture or the Latino culture or the Asian culture. They literally are attending a barbecue.
Yeah.
I'm going radical. They literally have to have 20 to 30 hours in a preschool in African-American communities. So they play with little kids. They look like they little kids. And they realize, oh, they stack the blocks the same way we stack the blocks.
That part.
So I want to design this comprehensive program. At a core level that not just academically educates you, but it puts you in what we call intimate proximity with the people you said you're going to protect. Yeah. And so it's difficult to see yourself in someone, see your son in someone, and then still hurt them.
Yeah.
And I want this to be mandated as a way that they get their badge. So, I mean, it's a part of the academy. So
you know what's so cool about that, Lisa, is that it's in this climate, it's important that law enforcement is a part of that. But this can be applicable to educators, right? This can be applicable to businesses everywhere, because, man, you are just killing me today, boy. I was not ready. I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I was not.
That's Constance's fault.
God, I was ready. You know, you taught me, Lisa. You know, I ain't got to get ready because I already. Stay ready. You know, I was listening to you, and one of the things you said that I always say, you said that this is just a great time to be alive. And I agree. And I always say, you know, Donald Trump is absolutely the right president right now in this very moment, because what is happening is he is telling everybody their secrets. This stuff has been going on for a long time. He is just exposing everybody to it. And now we are starting to wake up to it.
Listen, he said, I bet you won't ever sleep on another election again.
Not another one. Not another one. Not another one.
You let me ease in the White House on your watch. Shame on you. I take that personally. I'm like, you know what? You know, I took it
the first one out there.
I took it personally. I said, you know what, Lisa? That's on you. I wasn't like when I was in Jamaica when it happened. I was teaching a workshop and I said, "Oh, he won. That's on me. I didn't use my platform enough. I owned it. I wasn't blaming nobody else. Was your part? You helped put that booger in the White House. So I'm glad. All you need to do is call me one time and wake me up."
Yeah. Well, we are all woke. The scales have fallen off our eyes. And one of the things that Robert always says is not only should we be voting, but we should be operating in those spaces in politics.
Absolutely.
We start getting in spaces where we are decision makers.
Regionally and nationally, on all levels. Letter campaigns, sitting in the city council meetings, all of that. That's why it's long term, and we have to develop that muscle. So we're not going to master it tomorrow. Don't sign up for the sprint, y'all. Sign up for the marathon. Like your Wheaties. Hold on. Take your B12.
B12.
Let me get mine.
Hello.
Mine too. I got mine too.
Take your B12, Annie up, treat your body right, and let's get ready for a marathon because the revolution can be televised.
Oh, it's gonna be televised. We can televise now.
Look, we got the internet now. Back in the day, it might not be televised, but the internet now it might get taken down quickly.
Well, Lisa, you have certainly been a part of this platform, and I love the fact that you always stay ready. But I don't know if you're gonna be ready for people really want to know. Oh. And your story has been so inspirational. It's motivated me. And more importantly, you have put some action steps behind the things that you say, right? Mm-hmm. But we know that, Lisa, but we want to find out, pull back the curtains and just bring Lisa on our couch.
You sure you want to do that?
Huh?
You sure you want to do that?
I mean, we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation. All right.
Hashtag Conversation Starters Live. Go. I'm just going to set it off real quick for you, Lisa Nichols. Since you're way down in the Bahamas, and I love to hear you say Latino, you say Latino. So,
Latino. That's how we say it. That's how we say it in Cali.
That's how you say it in Cali. I'm like, okay, go ahead, Lisa. Well, check this out, Lisa. Since you're from Crenshaw, right? I know that you're a fan of popular music. I heard you say 1995. I remember where I was and what I was doing in 1995. So I need the people to know. I really want to know. In your iPod right now, if you had one, would you be bumping Notorious B.I.G. or Tupac?
Tupac! Are you crazy? I got you. Now, if you ask me for the evolved Lisa over years, I can appreciate Notorious B.I.G.'s music, and I do work out to it. But Tupac ride till I die. Like, I'm down till I die. Like, I got to. I'm West Coast. Right? I'm just saying.
That's how we do. In fact, if you kick it with us, you might get her on the mic where she is spitting some Pac, okay?
Well, and then I'll definitely sing. I'm a hustler, baby.
Come on.
And I want you to know what? Hold on. It ain't wild then. I'm about to go.
Yes. All right, I got one for you, Lise. I got one for you. If you had to pick a first date, would it be a candlelight dinner? Or would it be a date on the beach, a picnic on the beach?
Absolutely a picnic on the beach. And I bring a football to play catch.
Okay.
And I bring a volleyball to play volleyball because I need him to know from the beginning, this sister is active. This will not be a sedentary relationship. If I can't keep up with her, I got to let her go or get in shape. It has to be. And the other side is if we outside, I ain't got to worry about fighting that booger off of me.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's keep that thing going. I love the fact that you're working out of football, volleyball, and some more stuff. Stay active with your B12 self. Check this out. You are in the public space all the time, but you are on the Conversation Starters couch. And if there's one thing that get on your nerves more than anything is it's bad breath or funky underarms. You can only pick one. You can only pick one because everybody want to hug. Everybody want to come and meet the Lisa Nichols. But which one get on your nerve the most? Bad breath or some stanky underarms? Because we've been sitting and listening to you for 8 whole hours. We've been at this street all day long. We done bought your product. But which one you hate most?
Oh, I'd have been subject to so much of both of them.
Right. They over here dying, Lisa. They over here dying.
Only funky underarms if it's wet and they hug me and got some of they funk on me. I wasn't stinking. Now I'm you. Now right here, that right there, shut it down. It's over.
I think I could deal with the funk better than I could deal with the bad breath because that bad breath will give you a headache. It does some things to it can hurt.
I can step back, but if somebody hugs me, and normally I know about somebody's funk because they hugged me, and now I want to know, is that on my shoulder? but let me tell you why. Because I know I'm sliding into being a slight germaphobe. I'm sure I am. I gotta be because now anytime somebody's nasty moisture, like Good moisture, I'm cool, but nasty moisture, keep that.
The beautiful thing is, post the pandemic, I don't think we really gonna have to worry about people hugging.
Oh my God.
Ain't that a good thing, right?
I walk around just ready to spray people. Hold on.
Because you Lisa Nichols, you the love lady. Everybody wants to love.
I haven't been out in public since I haven't been anywhere. I've been in my beautiful home. I moved here 2 days before the international airport shut down. So I have 11 steps to the beach. That's it. 11 steps and I'm at the beach. And so I've been just in here in La La Land. Well, I leave to come back. I leave to go back to California next Thursday. And these days, the journey traveling, people recognize me. So I already said I'm doing the mask, the glasses, and the hat. Like, ain't nobody gonna know, because what you won't do is come running up over me and I ain't sprayed you. I need you to. I had that nose thing. They come near me, I'll be like, run into this, run your nose into this checker thing.
Moshe said, not on her watch. She said,
not on her watch.
Let me ask you a question, because I know you in the Bahamas now. Love is in the air. I done seen you post on your page that you
hold on, you get me hot. Hold on, let me tell you.
Yes.
Hold on.
And here's the thing: why she fanning off? Her boo is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful man. He is a beautiful person inside and out. You are blessed, Lisa.
He's been my friend for 10 years, waiting on me.
Waiting on you to get your
Rob waited. He waited on
you. That's a soldier right there.
Hey, what does the Bible say? A man who finds a wife or a woman finds a good thing. He
good thing.
Look, we both found something amazing, because I was so grateful that he was consistent and waited.
Hey Lisa, this is what we are. Constance and I always joke about. You've been messing around with a dumbass, but now you got yourself a Boaz.
Yes.
Yes.
But let me ask you this, because I know that you've had a lot of men who followed you all over the world, who wanted you. What has been your worst date?
Wow. I have to go way back, because in the last 15, I had real good ones. They have to go through so much to get to the date that put on.
They come correct.
Spray on your act right. Spray on your act right. I think if I go back, I was turning 20. And first of all, I was wrong in the first place, because
she started out that she was wrong.
So wrong. I
was wrong in the first place, because I was trying to decide which one of these 3 dudes to go out with, right? I was committed to none of them, but I was determined on the person who I thought could give me the best birthday experience. It was my 20th birthday. So I picked.
It was 1990.
Right. So I picked this dude, and he asked me where'd I want to go. I said, Italian.
Okay.
So we pull up to La Talita.
Okay.
Mexican restaurant. And I said, he's just gonna surprise me. I thought I had this major night planned, so he's surprising me. So we go in, and he said, "Hi, it's her birthday." The first thing he said, and I'm like, "Oh, this takes like immediate notice." We sit down. He removes the center thing. That's the thing that sits in the center. Sometimes it's like the little thing that's in the center. He removes it from our table. And when the waiter comes, he gives the waiter my ID. I was like, we're about to have the band come out. It's about to be big. I don't want Mexican, but I'll take it, because it's about to be big. So we get our meals. He goes to the bathroom, and nothing's happening. The man comes with some flan and a one candle. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad. Hola, adios, and leaves. I was like, I know that ain't it. I know that ain't it. So when he leaves, I go to the other table, and I go get the sign, and I read the sign, and it said, "On your birthday, you get to eat for free." Who right here spent $16 on my birthday? But I was wrong to begin with, so I brought that on myself. But anyway, that was the most embarrassing the worst birthday. And then later he tried to get a kiss. Let me tell you what you ain't gonna do. Predict the future. I don't.
I think it's all the same.
If I predict the future, I don't see a kiss in your future. Not from me. Anyway.
That's what he was saying. I'll be back.
Well, you
know, y'all
Lisa,
laughing at me. Everybody laughing at me. I deserved it. It wasn't. It wasn't. I didn't have the right intention. So my heart was
cumpleaños. It wasn't Feliz Navidad.
Oh.
Feliz cumpleaños. Yeah.
Now you see. Yo estudio español. Yo hablo poquito español. Yes, Lord have mercy.
So listen, Lisa Nichols, you are still on the conversation couch, and we really want to know. Speaking of kisses, do you remember your first real kiss, his name, and do you want to give him a shout out?
Oh.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So my first real kiss was with Lance Tobias. And he was my first real boyfriend. He still, just last month, texted me and said, "Happy birthday."
Oh.
So when we were 16.
Shout out, Lance.
Yeah, shout out to Lance. When we were 16, we dated, and I quizzed him for 8 months straight on my birthday. Like, what's my birthday? May 18th. What's my birthday? What's my birthday? May 18th. And now it's been 30 plus years. And now he still remembers my birthday. He's like, "Lisa, I cannot forget your birthday." I was like, yeah. Lance Tobias, my first kiss, my first love.
That's so sweet. I got a question for you. If there was a decade that you can live in, what will be that decade?
Wow, the decade. For different reasons, I'm gonna go a little deep for you. You know, it's not about old school or anything. I think I would live 2000, that starting at 2000, I would live that decade again for the reason of I didn't give myself a chance to live. I was a new mother and a new entrepreneur, and I forgot to dance. I forgot to nurture my friendships that had gotten me to that point.
Come on.
I've forgotten to prioritize Juneteenth or, my cousin's birthday. I've forgotten to, my grandmother's 91 last month. Back then she was much younger. I've forgotten to prioritize taking her to the Dollar Tree store, her favorite store. And so I would live that decade again to go pick up all the things that were in my blind spot on my way to success.
Wow. Come on, you guys.
I love it. See, you took a conversation starters on the couch question. You just turned into a preachable moment. Good God Almighty. I'm just saying. Well, this is my last question I got.
Oh, baby, wow. Yeah.
This is my last question. Listen, check this out. Check this out. That is profound too. The 2000s. Good God Almighty. I have a whole lot of do-overs. I like to do over from the 2000 to 2010. But you already got a boo thing. He's your Boaz, right? I'm sure he was a Boaz in training, and I know he won't forget May the 18th. I know he won't forget that. I ain't gonna forget it myself.
No, I'm taking care of that.
Okay, right on. So what is, let's say for pretend if you didn't have your Boaz, or if you were talking to one of the sisters out there who are listening right now, is it a bigger atrocity for the man not to know how to dance or not to know how to dress? Because you got to walk around with this Boaz that he might be great on all cylinders, but what is the biggest atrocity, the biggest sin, the biggest letdown? That he can't dance or he can't dress for you?
Well, let me just say this. If he's delicious enough, I'm a good teacher of both. I'm just saying, don't throw out the gym because you need to help him out a little bit. I mean, come on, sister. You ain't coming perfect, neither is he. Trust. So hashtag that. However, if I had to pick one or two, I would prefer for him to dress and not be able to dance than dance and not be able to dress.
That part.
Man.
And by the way, to that point, here's my boo thing.
Ooh,
Sweet.
Black love, black excellence.
Black love is beautiful. Oh.
It almost looked like a wedding dress.
And oh, by the way, for the photo shoot, I dressed him. So you ain't gotta work. You ain't gotta but you know what, Rob? I'm a big believer of that. I truly want to meet your goodness, and then we can grow together. I really mean that. I really mean that. And Constance will know that I mean that. I don't search for perfect, because then he won't recognize me because I ain't perfect.
Right.
So somebody
say that one more time. I need to write that on. I'm gonna make that a Facebook. What's that again?
I'm not looking for perfect because then he won't recognize me. You know, I'm not perfect, and so you know, I have given a lot of grace. I give a lot of grace, and oh, by the way, that doesn't mean that I look for a rescue mission. I'm not trying to rescue the brother to date him. You need to be whole and complete, but I also need to be whole and complete. You can't make me whole. I don't want to make you whole. Let's just allow our completeness to complement each other's wholeness. That part. I'm just saying. Hashtag.
That part.
I'll let him do the two-step. Baby, don't step on my toes. Hold on. Let me do the two-step.
Speaking of two-step. Hey, remember that time we was in the Bahamas and we was doing karaoke.
Oh, let me tell y'all this nut right here. We at the Bahamas singing karaoke. She decides she wants to sing "You Better Call Tyrone," and she just I wish I could find it. She starts singing to this dude, "You better call Tyrone," and then she hit him upside the back of his head. "You better call Tyrone." I'm nervous. People recognize me. I'm like, Constance gonna have me. I ain't gonna
apologize to the people. They loved it.
You should have seen everybody's eyes. I have to go to the guy after. I said, "I'm sorry, sir.
I'm so sorry.
That's my sister. That's my sister." She gets a little excited. He was like, "It's okay. It's okay." I was like, she slapped him upside. I said, "You better call Tyrone." Had a good time.
We had a couple of drinks. I mean, I had a couple of drinks.
You know, some liquid courage.
Good time. Good time.
Listen, I didn't have a couple of drinks. I had to stay sober just in case she starts slapping brothers upside the back of their head singing to them.
Baby girl, she's a lightweight. She can't hang with the grown people on the alcohol.
I'm not a drinker.
That's
Danita. Right. Danita was there. She just picked the guy about the audience.
Just a random guy.
Took his hand and singing to him, and the dude thought he had some rhythm because Constance is just, she oozes sensuality. She was like, "Yeah, you bet." He stood up, got excited, then she slapped him upside his head, talking about, "You better call Tyrone," and walked away. I said, "Lord, have mercy."
Well, hey, Lisa, hold on. Newsflash. Danita just said she got the whole thing on video. Danita Sanjos. Danita, inbox Robert Anthony. I will pay you for that video. I got to see it.
Some shit.
Yes. Danita.
My daughter said she want to see too. No, you don't need it.
I want you to see your mama turning up, acting up, showing out. And we had to cover her. Like, let's make sure these sisters, we over here in Nassau, these sisters are beautiful, voluptuous, strong. And I'm like,
strong?
Yeah. I was like, Constance, don't make us have to throw down. All I need to see on the news was Lisa Nichols went to Nassau and had to turn up because her friend slapped her brother in the head. But I would have. I had to back.
Oh, yeah, always. Now,
Wow.
speaking of Tyrone, last question. We just had Verzuz a couple of weeks ago. Did you get the chance to see it? Jill Scott, Erykah Badu.
You have, say it again. You have what?
Verzuz a couple of weeks ago.
No, I didn't see it.
Jill Scott versus Erykah Badu.
Very well. Okay, great.
Okay.
No, very well.
If you had to choose,
ooh,
which would you choose?
I gotta go with my girl Jill.
Everybody goes with Jill.
I gotta go with my girl Jill. You know why? Because
Ask me why. Please tell us why, Lisa.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why I would go with, because I went to a Jill Scott concert. And I saw Jill work. Anybody ever seen Jill? Can you Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna do what Jill did, but I respect Jill for her boldness.
Her
I respect Jill for being able to sit inside of her sensuality.
Yeah.
I want to appreciate Jill because I was on the front row in the center seat. So she walked to the front and I felt like, should I take notes? Should I close my eyes? Should I record?
Am I supposed to be here? I'm feeling like this is an intimate moment.
No, I was supposed to be there. I'm a voyeur. No, I'm a look. I'm like, what you got?
You a voyeur.
Look. I was like, hold on, Jill.
You take a note.
So hold on. Okay. Anyway, that's a note. Jill.
You know, the thing about Jill is she has
a grown
ass woman. Yes.
She showed up and showed out. Don't get it twisted. Where you at?
The soundtrack of a grown woman. Come on. Yes. All right, Rob.
Well, Constance, Lisa, I feel a bit uncomfortable right now.
Look at her. She's taking notes. Woo! Yes, we all can take notes, honey.
Dr. Allie, I love you. You know I need help. Applause, you know.
Lisa, we got to do a reunion. We have got to do a reunion.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes. I'm on my way. When can I be in the Bahamas? Allie, where you going? Come on, Denise.
The borders open on July 1. So they've been cleared. Bahamas is like, y'all ain't nothing coming up in here. We're gonna stay all clean beaches and pure water. So that's the good thing, is that when you come, you know that this is an environment that has, you know, the least amount, you know, in terms of when you look at the numbers. But you know, we're doing an alumni dynamic women retreat.
Yes.
And you need to come for the alumni.
Yes.
Rally. The need is there. You need to come. And the Dynamic Women's Retreat, Rob, is where we invite gladiator Black women who are super sister soldiers in their world. And we invite them to a safe space to take their capes off, to restore, re-energize, reinvent themselves, recommit, and heal. And heal with another Black woman, so that we can experience what none of us had experienced before our first one, which was Black women holding each other in such a safe space. So, amen. You can, you know, hey,
you talk about
perfect. So the alumni Dynamic Women's Retreat is next February.
It's my birthday. I'm coming.
Yeah, next February is right here in the Bahamas.
Yes.
And, so, and you'll get to meet my beau. And
Yes.
Oh, Johnny is here. Johnny said February 2021. Yes.
So that's the thing, is when I talk about supernatural experiences, it has happened at those retreats. When you talk about God coming in and showing up and showing out and using Lisa and using Danita to change the lives and the trajectory of these women that came up in here, these women who are bosses in everywhere they go.
Bosses are only invited. Like you gotta be a gladiator in your own life, even come.
Right. So these are bosses that come in and they are broken all the way down and built right back up, and they look so whole and complete.
Dr. Elsa, I want you to know, because I'm in the journey with you. I went to my first retreat. Constance was there. I went to my second retreat, and I said, I want the area of my life that I want to grow is I want to heal any old wounds I have in love and relationship, so I can open myself up for my lifetime relationship. I want to open myself up. I want to become ready. I want to invite her in. I want to let her know she's safe. And it was at those retreats, while facilitating, I was getting my own healing.
Come on.
Getting my own. So I don't want to just act as if I'm there teaching. I was asking for my breakthrough too. And
everybody there was, Lisa. So I said everybody there was. Yeah. It wasn't the people who were there to get it. It was us that were volunteers. That was on the gladiator team.
Right.
We were all in the work together.
Because only a boss Black woman can hold another boss Black woman and hold her accountable.
Yeah. Oh, and hold her accountable. Yes.
Hold her accountable. But the way we did it is with such a consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have to say that I'm only here living on the island of my choice. 17 years ago, I said I want to live on white sand beaches and clear waters. I'm only living here on an island with my love of my life because I went to that retreat over and over and over again. Mm-hmm. I'm clear. So thank you, Constance. Thank you for holding the space. Thank you for holding me as I cried. Thank you for allowing me to hold you as you cried. I got a beautiful picture of your head in my lap. That's one of my favorite pictures on the planet.
She broke me down. You know, I was thug life, tattoo tears. And I told Lisa, I said, look, I don't cry. She said, okay, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, but what I knew that you were saying, Constance, is I don't cry until I know I'm safe to cry. Yeah. You just hadn't had that safety yet. And so I was okay. I wasn't trying to make you cry. I was trying to make you safe. And to do whatever you needed to do. And that's what we did. And watching the boss women come out of that, the businesses they start or they grow, and the relationships that come into play and the moves they make in life. And I'm grateful to have had you, Dr. Ali, Danita, Zena, John, just everyone that I said, come and help me heal us. Because we can't expect our men to do it. It's unfair to expect our men to make us whole. That's not their job. Right. And everybody else scared of the Black woman, like a white woman, a white man. They're like, I can't do that. Ain't nothing worse than a mad Black woman. And so we came together and we did that daggone thing. So come to the alumni.
That's what I wanted to know is you do retreats with everybody as well. Why was it?
I do retreats with everyone, Black,
women, Black, white, from all over the world.
It's called a breakthrough retreat. So we do breakthrough retreats once a year. And our next breakthrough retreat is in January, and everyone's there. We have people there from probably about 12 different countries on average. And they're going to come here to the Bahamas.
Oh, right.
Everything, all roads lead. To the Bahamas. Okay. And so, that's one of my commitments is to use my skill set to create financial breakthroughs, relationship breakthroughs, health and wellness breakthroughs, and spiritual breakthroughs in people's lives, and to do it in the form of retreats. And so I'm glad we do our one in January and one in February. And
Dr. Ali said we need that now more than ever. And in this part, we probably need some for Black men too.
Yeah. Well, that's the one where they're coming in January. They'll have a lot of Black men coming. And then I think later in the year, next year, I'm going to do a cultural awareness retreat where I'm going to actually do the same amount of whites and the same amount of Blacks. And the whole idea is to have some in-depth cultural healing. And I only really want leaders for that. So I want people who are leading conversations, because if you transform a leader, then you transform everyone that they lead.
That's right.
Yeah. And ladies, I just want to tell you, Constance Carter, Lisa Nichols, it is for all the brothers out there watching, for every man, woman, boy, and girl. There's a whole lot of estrogen on this stage. And while you were talking, it takes a strong Black man to be able to stand here resilient on my square. And I remember listening to a speech made by Tavis Smiley, and he was talking about a book. He said, "These things I know for sure." And one of the things that he listed, there's nothing like a Black mother's love. Well, I want to add one more thing to that list, Tavis, if you're out there watching, because this is a global platform. There is nothing like seeing Black girl magic on full display.
Amen.
And you guys exhibit that, you radiate that. And the one thing that whenever Constance hears me pray, one of the things that I ask God is that he will shine his light on me so that I can be a reflection to others of all that you have been in my life and all that you do for me. And what I also love about what I've heard both you say, Constance and Lisa, is that instead of asking for a blessing, you guys are actively being a blessing to others, right? Yeah. And sometimes we miss the blessing when we steady on our knees praying, asking for a blessing. Well, how about you go out into the world and just be a blessing? And as you bless others, you will be blessed in doing just that. So amen for you doing all of your retreats. And Constance, crying up. You say tattoo, tears.
Thug life, homie.
Thank you for crying your tears and releasing. I mean, that is just awesome.
Well, listen, I want to thank my girl, Lisa. Lisa, I texted you last week. I told you I love you. I need to text back. But anyway, I want to thank.
I was busy. Never mind. I was making folk feel comfortable. I ain't gonna say that. You got crazy. I said I'm so busy over here in the Bahamas about all the stuff going back in my country. I was like, I'm putting out fires left and right.
But I want to thank you for being here. You have been such a blessing to us here, but you also have been such a blessing in my personal life. And I appreciate you. I'm sure Robert appreciates you. I'm sure all the people here.
Yeah, Robert appreciates you.
Yeah. Tell me your baby. Your baby's still sitting next to you.
Yeah.
You the only one that matter. They don't matter. You the only one. I showed up for you. I showed up for you.
She got a real estate license now. She thinks she's doing it.
Ooh, she don't think she's doing it. She's doing it. She's doing it for real. She's doing it. Right. It's been my pleasure. I'm excited. I'm excited about what you guys are up to. I'm excited about your commitment to greatness, to sharing true, courageous conversations. To be able to have that play. I think the more we see the beautiful dynamic that exists between men and women, the dance, I think you're doing more than you know you're doing. You're healing someone who hasn't played across gender lines in a long time, who hasn't stepped in their consciousness in a long time. So I celebrate you both. I'm honored. Constance, I cannot wait to dance, to salt and pepper with you, to double dutch and beat you in some jacks.
Well, you might beat me in the jacks, but I'll beat you in the spades, boo.
I cannot wait. Rob, I'm looking forward to an excuse to play together and call it work.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. We love you. All right.
Hey, real quick, Constance. Wait. I know. Lisa talked about the retreats, but we need to make sure that everybody understands that Lisa has graced our Conversation Starters couch. And if there's anybody that you want to shout out, I know you talked about Jelani, you talked about your Boaz by name, but if there's any person, any entity that you would like to show some love to, love on, we just want to make sure we give you that opportunity to do that, because we know you got to go, but we just want to give you the opportunity to do that before you leave.
Thank you. I think today I'd want to celebrate my grandmother, Blanche Houston. She is 91, and she's never been in the hospital a day of my life. And in the last 40 days, she's been in the hospital 3 times. And I've never met a person who has danced their way through their entire life. My grandmother still does all of her own taxes. She's the only person I've ever met who paid her mortgage 6 months in advance. And when I asked her why, she said, because I could.
Okay, Grandma.
Her favorite CDs, she has 2 favorite CDs, Bob Marley and Tupac. And she will tell you about both. And she talks about going partying in Compton as if she was partying in Compton while Tupac was around. I keep saying, Grandma, he wasn't there at the time. She said, but I partied in Compton. I partied in Compton before you were born. And so my grandmother has taught me how to laugh your way to your final years, how to dance your way, how to always let music be in your soul and prayer be in your heart. And a lot of who I am in my humility and my comedy, and my wisdom is a result of sitting at the feet of Blanche Houston. And so I know at some point I'll have to let her go way sooner than I want to, even if I have her for another 10 years. But I don't want to dismiss the fact of how grateful I am that I get to share the best parts of me that Blanche Houston put in me with you guys.
And you shared her with the world. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the shout out. Thank you, Rob, for letting me do that.
Absolutely. So everybody, boys and girls, we thank you for being a part of this entertainment conversation. We know that we've touched somebody, we've helped somebody, we've saved somebody, and we've also delivered somebody. But my name is Robert Antoine, and along with the lovely
Constance Carter.
And we believe that for every situation,
there is a conversation.
Hashtag Conversation Starters Live. We love y'all. Please make sure you go out and vote and love on somebody, help somebody, and bless somebody while you're out there.
All right.